Patriots fans, it is time for Foxborough Finance Friday. It's time for a fiscal fitness report with our good friend. The PatsCap is here. Stick around. You are about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful. Thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots, sign up for free wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. Make sure that you receive the latest episode as soon as it's available. I'm your host, Mike DeBate, and I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country of Sports Illustrated. So reach out to me. Let me know what's on your mind on Twitter at MDABATENFL. While you're out there showing some love to the Twitterverse, please be sure to follow the Locked On Patriots account as well at LO_Patriots. Pats fans, we're not wasting any time today. It is time for a fiscal fitness report for your New England Patriots, and we welcome the guru of Foxborough Finance, the man I like to call the great and powerful Wizard of Benzan, my good friend Miguel PatsCap Benzan joins me here today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me here on this post-draft Foxborough Finance Friday, buddy.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. I heard you guys talk about me. You and Murph talking to me. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get that DM pretty soon from Mike. All right, and then of course, I said this should work out perfectly because I was expecting the Wolfpack to sweep the Providence Bruins Wednesday night. So, but they're playing tonight, so I'm going to that game. So we have to rush. All right. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. For yeah, your Connecticut guys are doing a real number on my Providence guys. We'll save that for a conversation for another day right now. Yeah. But no, all kidding aside, but right off the bat, I always say, folks, he is the only source that I need when it comes to Foxborough Finance, and there really is nothing more to say about that. So let's dive right into this, bud. Okay. According to your calculations, the Patriots currently have $12,151,622 in available cap space. That accounts for the just north of $4 million 4-year deal that wide receiver Kayshon Boutte signed. Mm-hmm. First domino to fall when it comes to the rookies. But Miguel, all Patriots fans right now are wondering what this means for New England. Not just Boutte's deal, but we know Patriots made a lot of picks, and they need to sign these picks, and they need to get them in the Foxborough fold, preferably before training camp. But ultimately, what does this mean Foxborough finance-wise for the New England Patriots? Floor is yours, my friend.
We'll start with Boutte. All right, Boutte. The Patriots in the last several years have been signing day 3 picks, one or a couple of them early, right after the draft. And I mean right after, I mean within 2 weeks of the draft. All right. I heard about it. To me, it was no big deal. But then people are saying, oh my gosh, I mean, he's going to make the team. He's guaranteed a spot because he got so much money. He got no more, no less than a player who's got drafted at 187 was going to get. Not because, he didn't get any more, didn't get any less. In fact, if you looked at what the guy got last year who was drafted 187, he actually Boutte got a small signing bonus to that gentleman, but because the rookie salaries have gone up each year, so, from $705,000 last year to $750,000 this year, all right, Boutte will earn more cash if he makes the team than the guy he did last year who was drafted in the same spot. That's to be expected because the cap has gone up. The rookie pool, unfortunately for the draft picks, hasn't really gone up that much. All right. It only went like less than 2%. How to say this politely. Okay. So let's just look at the history of the Patriots and 6th-round picks. We know they picked the greatest player at 199. So all right. So during the Bill Belichick era, the Patriots have made 38 6th-round draft picks. Only 16 of them, Mike, have made the week 1 roster. That's like 1 out of 3. All right. 12 were waived. 7 were placed on injured reserve. 1, Joshua Bledsoe, was placed on non-football injury list. And 1, Arthur Love, which I thought it was a cool the way he spelled his name with an E-R instead of U-R, was placed on PUP. 1 gentleman was Matthew Wells was traded. All right. So in my mind, the Patriots, he's got a 1 out of 3 chance of making the team.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That based on past history, excuse me. All right. They have cut players who've gotten much larger signing bonuses this gentleman have. Kayshon Boutte one time got a $600,000 bonus in January. The Patriots cut him in September that same year. If they're willing to do that, and that was before a couple of years ago, all right, they'll be able to easily eat the dead money for him because he's low risk, high reward, right? All right? Because his dead money, if they were to cut him in September, would be just under $47,000. Their cap number is over $220 million. That's insignificant, immaterial. All right, like he didn't even change. Like his signing bonus proration is counted against the cap. His $750,000 is not counted against the cap because of the top 51 rule. Because we're right now in the off season where the Patriots will have 90 players on the roster, but only the salaries of 51 players count against the cap right now. And those are the 51 players with the highest cap numbers.
Right.
He doesn't qualify for that list. So out of the 12, only 3 will qualify the list: Gonzalez, White, and Mapu. All right. I was surprised. I'm a geek, a salary cap geek, so I didn't think about it. That somebody would say, "Wow, he got this much money," because to us, getting a $200,000 signing bonus sounds like is a lot, but in the NFL, it means relatively nothing.
Right.
All right. I think hopefully that addresses your question or answers the question. All I got to say is that he's, like Murph said, this is so much upside. Even if he balls out, all right, the next 3 years, his salary in the last contract in 2026 is still going to be ridiculously low. All right. Even if he earns a proven performance escalator, which raises the salary of players drafted to rounds 2 through 7. All right. He's, low RFA 10. At the best, he's going to be a $6 million hit. I mean, salary. I mean, there's a couple of Pro Bowls in there. And if he's a couple of Pro Bowls, we're willing. Nobody's complaining about $6 million salary in 2026. All right. That's all I got to say. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, like the gentleman just tweeted at me, and I guess he saw a lot of tweets. And then I've been getting, somebody said that. So it seemed like a lot of money for a 6th round pick. I'm like, not really. It's what he's supposed to get. I mean, it's not even close to what the guys get in the first round. Like Gonzalez is going to get a signing bonus around $8 million. Keion White's going to get a signing bonus around 2.7. Mapu's going to get a 1. Boutte got $187,000. That's not even close to in that range. I mean, I know you guys had mentioned that he was projected to be a long time ago, projected to be in the first round. All right. By being a 6th round pick, he lost a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised that that's one of the reasons he's one of the first guys to sign. He's want to get his money up front. I don't know. We'll see. I never really kept track of when the first Patriot player got signed, the first draft pick got signed. I usually keep track of the last one. All right. Because that's the one that really matters. You don't really want the guys to miss any time in training camp. All right. And I'll just say this. I'm not expecting the only possible, my guess is for the guy who takes the longest to sign is Keion White. And we'll go over is because he's in the 2nd round. And the agents are trying to negotiate how much money 2nd round picks, guaranteed salary they get in the 3rd year of the deal. And for him, it would be 2025. All right. His counterpart last year got a very small percentage of his third year salary, which would have been 2024, guaranteed. So he's got some negotiating room. He's not close to 100%, so there's a big wiggle room. The Patriots, thankfully, the Texans did not draft in front of them, because the Texans just throw out all the slotting with the guaranteed money all the time. All right, the Patriots tend to be. Sometimes they go beyond the slotting with the guaranteed money, and sometimes they go under.
Right.
I can't tell. We'll see.
Patriots fans, as you absorb the wisdom and counsel of our good friend Miguel Benzan, the PatsCap himself, please remember that today's episode is brought to you by our good friends over at Built. If you're looking for a delicious snack but don't want all of the sugar and calories, then you need the best tasting protein bar ever. Built. Folks, you got to try this. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars taste like a candy bar while maintaining amazing macros. And what's even better is that they are healthy. They're only 130 calories on average, 4 grams of sugar with a whopping 17 grams of protein. And now you don't even need to wait to get a box, because for years we've been talking about ordering Built bars at Built.com. And you can still get all your favorite flavors, but now you can walk into a local Walmart, head to your pharmacy section, and grab yourself a box of Built bars, a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or coconut puff. If you're close to a Sam's Club, even better. Run in, grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors, brownie batter puff or churro puff. Folks, don't delay. Do it today, and you'll thank me later. You gotta try this. Built.com.
I'm not expecting any problems with the third-round pick. I said this, I tweeted out, that battle has been won by the agents. And we could, if you could bring up Mapu's graphic. Okay. Basically, folks, in the third round for the last several years, the agents were trying to make sure that the drafted player would max out his salary. And by that, I mean, in the CBA, their salary increases are limited to 25% of their first year cap number. All right. And so you can see here that he is going to have a $750,000 salary. His signing bonus proration for this year is $261,000. So that adds up to like just a little over $1.01 million. All right. 25% of that is about $250,000. So that's how much his salary can increase for each year. All right. Before last year, not every third round pick got the 25% maxed out. Last year they did. So this year, what they're going to try to do, the agent's going to try to do, is trying to have some salary in the first year guaranteed, which to me is meaningless. You're not going to cut a third round pick, but that's what the agent's going to do. So I don't see any problems with signing him. In the past, it's been a third round pick for the Patriots that's been one of the last ones to sign, like Jacoby Brissett. And it's because he was specifically in the third round. Now I expect if there's going to be any delay in signing picks, and I'm gonna say this right now, Shy Sullivan, don't come at me until it's near training camp about being worried about the draft picks getting signed. All right. It's going to be Keion White, and it's because of the how much guaranteed salary they get, and not in the first year, because that's going to be full and guaranteed. Not in the second year, because that's going to be full and guaranteed, but how much they get in the third year. And you can see right here in the bottom of this graphic of Mapu, I have the dead money hit. All right, and to talk about that, I couldn't do that for White because I don't know how much. I wasn't comfortable guessing how much he was going to get because the Patriots have a wide range. There's a wide range for them. So I just want to talk about that in the third round of things. If we could go to Christian Gonzalez, if we don't mind.
Absolutely.
All right. I want to see here in Christian Gonzalez deal, all of his money, all of his 4 years, fully guaranteed. That's why you see in the dead money portion some with a cap savings, some negative numbers here, because if you were to cut him, you're gonna have all of his salary for future salaries would be accelerated into that year's cap, and plus some player will replace him on the top 51 list. All right. So, we hear about Lamar Jackson. He wanted a fully guaranteed salary. The media really doesn't make a big deal about how all 32 first-round picks are going to get fully guaranteed salaries this year. All right? Folks, so it happens. Fully guaranteed salaries in the NFL happens all the time. And that number increases by usually 32, this year 31 draft picks, first-round draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do you want to go to some other players? We can talk about that. Is that?
Yeah, I think that'll be, you know what? Let's do the big three. We've taken care of Christian Gonzalez, Marte Mapu. I think the natural progression here, let's take a look at Keion White. I know you've talked about him a little bit.
Okay.
This is one I know Patriots fans might be interested in. So let's bring up Keion. Here he goes.
Okay, so Keion White, he's going to have his first year salary, 2023 salary, 2024 salary, fully guaranteed. I don't know yet. We won't know yet. Maybe, hopefully, while we're doing this show, he gets signed. All right. I don't know how much of his 2025 salary will be guaranteed. It's going to be a small percentage, Mike. It might be about $200,000, but I don't know. It could be $100,000, it could be $150,000, somewhere in that range. All right. He is, because his salaries are fully guaranteed for the first 2 years, we can pretty much sure that he could be on the roster next 2 years. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have said this with Christian Gonzalez. Even if Christian Gonzalez goes on IR, his salary doesn't change. Keion White, if he goes on IR, his salary won't get on change. Mapu, because he's a third-round pick, his salary will not change. But the guys drafted in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round, their salaries will change and will get lowered if they go on IR. All right. So when people talk about the Foxborough flu, they don't talk about they hardly ever mention the monetary impact of being on IR all right. So not only for the Patriots, you lose your first year salary goes down, your second year salary, which would have been $915,000, then goes to $795,000. So you're losing close to, Mike, about $500,000 if you go on IR this year, if you're a drafted player in the last lower rounds. So when people say the Foxborough flu, it's funny because it's literal. So I know you probably say it a lot because you like alliteration. Right?
Absolutely.
All right. But it has an impact on these guys. And if you go on the IR, it makes it that much in the first couple of years of your deal. It makes it that much harder to earn the proven performance escalator, which raises your salary in the 4th year of the deal. And you can't be part of, if you're on an IR for the entire year, you don't get any part of the performance pay plan, which pays you the lower paid salaries more money for more snaps they get. All right. Like Awanu has been cleaning up in that regard in the last 3 years. He's almost come close to doubling his salary through that program. I mean, basically, the lower you get, the lower salary you have, and the more snaps you have, the more money you get in that program. So that's why it's not a benefit for these players to go on IR these years early in their careers. So we went over that. I do want to just say one thing about this. Demario Douglas and MS Speed will sign the exact same deals because comp picks get the same deal even though they're not in the same slot. Mm-hmm. So Douglas and Speed were drafted. Douglas was drafted 210. Speed was drafted 214. Exact same deal. Right. So every time when you have a comp picks and in the bottom of the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, 7th round, they all get the same deal. So it's going to literally be cookie cutter for the Patriots to get those 2 deals done. I wouldn't be surprised if they're done in the next 7 days. And I should say this. Last year, the second Friday after the draft, May 13th, 97 players were signed, 97 draft picks. We're already hearing more and more draft picks getting signed this week than we did last year at this time. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we're going to reach that 97, but I expect maybe 80, and a good number of them Patriots will be. Some of them will be Patriots. I think they'll have. We'll see what happens with the 2nd round picks because that could be interesting because the top of the 2nd round picks, they want to have their fourth-year salary fully guaranteed, and while the bottom, they want to have the third spot increase on how much their third-year salaries increase. We've yet to hear that a second-round pick has yet to sign, so I wouldn't be surprised at that. Because actually, this year, signing the first-round picks is going to be so much easier than signing the second-round picks because they're all full-year, fully guaranteed deals. Unless you're the Chargers or somebody stupid like the Bears with where you really care about how much signing bonus you pay out. Because that's one of the negotiating items. I guess we could talk about what they getting that's negotiated in rookie deals. And I have that. Hold on a minute. So, but none of those things really apply to the Patriots this year. Right? Literally the stuff that I sent out in this tweet about negotiating items won't apply to the 12 draft picks, except for the second for Keion White. I mean, the signing, how much the layaway plan for signing bonuses, folks, like, Christian Gonzalez, he might get $8 million, and they might negotiate, hey, I'll get $4 million now and $4 million in September. That might what they might negotiate, but that's not going to hold up a deal.
Right.
I know one of the bosses that held up a deal, which I didn't get. All right, I didn't understand on that part. For the Patriots, the split salary, they make the players take a split salary. So when they go in the IR, some teams you can negotiate. They don't. The Patriots don't. It's a done deal. They're not going off of that. They would have to set a precedent. They're not doing that at all. So yeah, that's it, Mike, I guess.
I guess the next question on everybody's mind, Miguel, is with the 12 million change that the Patriots have in available space right now, what they may do in terms of opening up more space for operating costs throughout the year. Now, it's not to say that they have to. Maybe they do. You can enlighten us on that. Who right now seems to be a good candidate to roster creativity, I guess is the best way to put it, to open up a little bit? Because I think the fact that the Patriots did not select the tight end makes extension for Hunter Henry maybe that much more likely, or at least something the Patriots may entertain the idea a little bit more. Maybe you can enlighten us a little more on that.
Okay, so the Patriots right now probably going to be right at the edge of having enough cap space to operate the end of the year.
Okay.
Through the end of the year. But the problem is none of us know how many players get injured.
Right.
If they have a bad year like they do in 2015, they're going to need to create cap space. But they have a good, healthy year like they had in 2014, all right, they'll probably have enough cap space, all right? And remember I talked about how these guys in the lower, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds, those guys don't count against the salaries, don't count against the cap.
Right.
If they all make the roster, that means they're beating out higher salary players for the team. All right. So let's say Isaiah Bolden, all right, beats out Miles Brandon for a spot in the secondary. All right. That creates about $2 million in cap space. If one of those, let's say Mafi, Mafi beats out Yanni Kajus for a space on a spot on the offensive line. That creates about $2 million in cap space. All right. You do that several times, Mike, the Patriots might be able to create $6, $7, $8, $10 million in cap space just by having the lower salary players beat out a higher salary player. All right. I'm surprised. And we're doing the show at 5:09 right now. So maybe they've released Nick Folk. I am surprised they haven't released Nick Folk after they drafted the kicker. All right. Because if he gets hurt during OTAs, his salaries becomes fully guaranteed because of the injury protection.
Oh.
All right. Because he goes on IR, he might not earn his active roster bonuses, but he's getting his salary.
Right.
All right. He's getting his salary. So that's why some teams you heard right before the draft and during the draft, some teams were cutting players. Because they say, I don't want to take a chance on this guy getting hurt during the OTA. All right. And I'm surprised that the Patriots haven't cut a couple of players to make room for more UTAs or take a chance, prevent the player from getting hurt while he's in OTAs. as for they have, like you said, Hunter Henry is a possibility to create. We'll just go with the big money. Hunter Henry for sure is a chance to create cap space. You could lower his cap number with an extension by $5 million. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You could reach out to my favorite pretend GM, Matthew Judon, reach an extension or just convert salary into signing bonus, and that create about $5 million. They have, oh my gosh, you get rid of Nick Folk, you get rid of Yanni Kajust, you do some of this, you can create another $15 million in cap space. So, like, they have enough ways to create cap space. So, like, if there was someone to become available via trade,
mm-hmm.
whoever that is, you pick your favorite player, right? Okay, whoever it is, folks, all right? It's not going to be Larry Fitzgerald. Right? Whoever it is, and from now until the trade deadline, the Patriots have the capability to create the cap space to get that player, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you can ask. I just think that's what you can ask for. Right? Oh my God! I'm just thinking about Larry Fitzgerald all those times.
The one that got away, and we're sure that now that Miguel has told us it's possible for the Patriots to trade for someone, that internet photo of the gentleman at the Hertz counter at Logan Airport is going to be popping up all over the place, and they're going to be tagging Miguel and saying, "Per PatsCap, the Patriots can trade for this guy."
I'm trying to think. Who can't they trade for? Because a lot of the players who are really good have really low salaries this year. But the thing is, they have a lot of dead money, so their team won't trade them. All right. I was trying to think what else I wanted to say about the draft picks. I gotta say this. Can I just say this out of
please go ahead. Floor's yours, bud.
I wanted Christian Gonzalez. I thought the Patriots were going to trade up for him. All right, and then they get him at 17. And I know the guy from Locked On Oregon the other day. I just listened to him today.
Spencer McLaughlin, yep.
Okay, I got to say, this is his dad joke. Made me chuckle, but I don't know. I wouldn't be going into my boss asking him if it was funny or not and have my job on the line for a dad joke.
Well, I know his boss. I think his boss might actually like it. He has the same bad sense of humor that I do, so he might be okay. You have to know your avenue and your lane. And in Locked On land here, I think we've got a shot at it. But no, all kidding aside. Yeah, Spencer was great in terms of the information on Christian Gonzalez, and you've helped to bring the financial aspect of it right into lockstep here in New England, and really, I think, give a lot of people a lot to be excited about. This is an exciting class. It's a big class. The Patriots, I think, 12 players for the first time since 2010. So a lot to think about and a lot to keep track of. I don't know how you do it, bud, but you do it better than anybody else in this league. That's why you always set the record straight here when you come on the Locked On Patriots. Yeah. All those myths that float around, folks, stick it right here, because this guy is never wrong. I don't say that to pump his tire. They say it because it's accurate. And he really is amazing at what he does. And we're so thrilled that you lend your wisdom and counsel here, sometimes exclusively or first here on Locked On Patriots. We're grateful for that. And I couldn't thank you enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm like setting the record straight on the Boutte. I'm like, what? I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the problem with being a cap nerd, like myself, is that you tend not to think like the regular people. I'm like, I did not think that anyone would think that. I know I didn't think it was. I mean, yes, the Patriots have been signing players earlier. I just didn't think it was a big deal. Okay, they signed a player early each and every season, every year. It just happened to be a guy who fell for them. I'm in your camp. I was not surprised by the amount that he was signed for. I thought it was a standard deal. It really didn't raise an eyebrow, but I did pick up on that as well. I think where a lot of the fan base is coming from, and I think you've really articulated this well, is the Patriots took a chance on Kayshon Boutte in the 6th round, pick number 187. Very, very highly touted before his injuries, before off the field. He was considered one of the top receivers in his class and really was exciting a lot of people with the way that he played and the upside that he has. Didn't show it in 2022. No question about it. It caused a real severe tumble into the 6th round for
Oh,
him. So
yeah.
the Patriots, in a lot of ways, are taking a chance. Maybe the fan base is a little bit gun shy hearing that, and they're thinking, okay, well, the Patriots are committing this kind of money to a 6th rounder that we're hearing could be a real hit or miss. But the Patriots doing that right off the bat, and credit to Kayshon as well for signing the deal early and the Patriots getting this done. I think it shows the two sides are ready to work with one another. And if that's
Yes.
the case, this could lead to something big on the field. And correct me if I'm wrong, if this is a standard deal and the Patriots get the type of output out of him, the talent that he's capable of putting out there, could end up being a draft deal, not just on the field, but also in the wallet as well.
Oh my gosh. If he plays like a first rounder, his deal is going to be ridiculously bargain. Ridiculously bargain. Because he cannot, because he's a draft pick, he cannot redo his deal until after his 3rd season.
Right.
All right. If he balls out, Mike, the Patriots will have a tremendous bargain because guys like him are making $25 million a year. He is going to average before the proven performance escalator just over $1 million. That's 4%.
It's true.
That's a tremendous. You're getting a 96% discount if he balls out. That's incredible, Mike.
Yep.
I just, like I said, I was surprised, and when somebody tweeted at me today, I'm like, I didn't think of that way. I mean, just like, oh my gosh, he got a lot of money. That was the number he was supposed to get on the report. It shows up on the 2nd.
Right.
Oops, I'm saying I have access. I saw the report. Okay, I did say I did see on the report. All right. So on the report, it does say October 2nd. I mean May 2nd. Excuse me. I don't know what I mean. 20 other guys signed that same day. So
right.
The terms like 5th round picks and 6th round picks. I just didn't think of a big deal, but it might, like you said, it's a tremendous. If he hits, it's a tremendous value. Tremendous bargain. What else I wanted to say? Oh, it's like right. Rich Cunningham, right? Is it Cunningham? The quarterback on. Okay, my gosh. So I don't want to think of Richie Cunningham, but Malik Cunningham, it did not get the highest paid total guarantee for undrafted free agent. That was Jeff Thames. Somebody, I know, but that was Jeff Thames in 2012. And to me, when a UDFA gets guaranteed salary, it's not a big deal for me because it has an offset. So for me, it's just prepaying the practice squad salary, unless they get more than how much they're going to get in practice squad. It's not a big deal to me. So I don't make a big deal. I don't think it guarantees him a spot in the roster. So if you're going to do a 53-man roster projection, please, I'm begging you, do not say that his $170,000 guaranteed salary guaranteed him a spot on the roster. Please do not say that because that's not true. It's not. It's never been true that it's not true. Ask Kayshon Boutte if that's true. Ask Andrew Beck if that was true.
Very good point. I'm so glad that you brought up the guaranteed money, especially when it comes to undrafted free agents, guys who are expected to be practice squad players. Doesn't necessarily mean that they won't get a roster spot, but it doesn't guarantee them one. And that is such an important part to remember here, folks, when we're talking about Patriots quarterback room that is now 4 players deep with Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi, Trace McSorley, and Malik Cunningham. That's a very good point. So I thank you for making that point, my friend, because it's something that I think a lot of people need to remember.
Yeah. So let's say roster cutdown weekend, the Patriots waive him, and someone claims Malik Cunningham on waivers.
Right.
That $170,000 guaranteed salary, that responsibility for paying it goes to his new team.
Right.
So there's very little risk for the Patriots by giving him guaranteed salary. He would have to be horrendous. that he wouldn't get claimed on waivers or get signed to the practice squad.
You're
Okay.
absolutely right, and I'm glad that you mentioned Cunningham. We talked about dad jokes earlier. You're lucky I didn't start in the Happy Days theme right there. That could have been a real problem. I wouldn't do that to our listeners. First of all, I wouldn't do that to you, my friend. No, that's that is really bad. If I would start doing that, I've already vowed to start retiring a lot of my bad impressions here. Claire's happy about it. So is Murph, and now I know you are as well. So,
I like them. I like them. I mean, I got to give a shout out to Mock Draft Mondays. That's one of my and you just had a crossover. Those are my two favorite days to listen to the show. I love those shows.
Well, the crossovers are going to keep coming. Right now, we're definitely working with a lot of our college hosts to get the background on a lot of Patriots draft picks, and there's quite a few of them, folks. We're going to cycle through 12 of them, so keep it right here to Locked On Patriots. And
awesome.
Mock Draft Mondays are actually going to start to become Mailbag Mondays, and Murph and I are going to dip into the Locked On Patriot Mailbag, and we're going to take a look and start answering some of your great questions, because Mondays are interactive here on Locked On Patriots, and the fans have spoken. Got to give the people what they want, but what they want most is fiscal knowledge. And my friend, what can I say? You break the wisdom and counsel meter every single time you come here. A lot of guys do it when they come here into these seats, but you've done it with class and a style all your own, and I can't thank you enough for that. Before I let you go today, my friend, is there anything else you would like to let our public know fiscally when it comes to the Patriots, or just anything even personal or anything related to what the great work that you're doing? Floor is yours, my friend. Take us home for the weekend.
I'd like to remind everyone that Devin McCourty's still officially on the roster. His retirement will be processed after June 1st. Don't know when, exactly after June 1st. But it will create about $200,000 in cap space. Okay, because his salary is at the very minimum for a guy with his experience. So a player with a $940,000 replacement with salary will replace him on the top 51 list. The Patriots, like we said before, I believe are just on the bubble. I have enough cap space to last throughout the year but they have several ways to create cap space, so I wouldn't worry about it. And will those folks who were obsessing about how much money the Patriots were spending earlier in March and February, they can now include the signing bonuses for the 12 draft picks in their cash spending total, because that cash spending total you saw on websites wasn't including draft picks, which was unfortunate for the Patriots because they had a lot of draft picks, and now they even have more draft picks than they had. All right. I think the Patriots earn good cap space, and that's all you can ask. As a guy who follows it, that's all I can ask them to do. We'll see. I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping to be able to go to a couple of training camp practices during the summer, and I look forward to seeing you guys. If as you know, on my pin tweet, I try to raise money for the Habitat for Humanity.
Absolutely.
If someone donates to them over this weekend, all right, and you could send me a DM with proof, I will send you the workbook that I sent to Mike for this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
absolutely, folks.
Minimum donation
Insider
is
info.
Yeah. Minimum donation is $6, $1 for each Super Bowl ring. Okay.
Folks, it's a worthy cause, not just to get Miguel's wisdom and counsel when it comes to finances, which to me is unparalleled and by far the best in the business. There's not even a close second. I always say the plaque for the alternates doesn't exist because the man has no equal, but it is such a worthy cause. All kidding aside, it truly is for what he's doing and the work that he does for Habitat for Humanity in the area, in the Hartford area. So please, if you're able to, definitely encourage you to do so. We'll definitely have you back on here before training camp to get another pulse check for the Patriots' finances as this next wave of free agency may come before players start showing up and reporting for mini camps and whatnot. But you've definitely helped us when it comes to the NFL draft and the draft picks. Folks, definitely be sure to stay locked into Locked On Patriots. And in the meantime, please continue to stay safe, stay well. On behalf of my good friend, Miguel Benzan, the PatsCap himself, I'm Mike Debate. Have a great day, a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you back here Monday on Locked On Patriots.